And we're live. Welcome. This is Julien from the St.Lucian Sea Moss Company, and I am doing, I guess this would be considered part 2 or whatever. I just did a video earlier. We were talking about sea moss, and I was about to show people a bunch of sea moss farms and sea moss, like on the commercial level of what I'm talking about. Where I believe a lot of fake sea moss comes from. And so I wanted to show it because I don't believe that there is sea moss growing in pools like people say. I don't believe that people are growing it in, like, people tell me that, oh, the sea moss smells like chlorine. That means it comes from a pool. That's ridiculous. Like, you can't grow sea moss in pool water. That's a fact. So the fact that you smell chlorine, that's probably not even chlorine that you're smelling. You're probably smelling something like ammonia or something else that happens when the sea moss is breaking down, or it's got some bacteria on it or something like that. But to say that the sea moss smells like that because of it was grown in a pool is crazy. And so what is happening is that there is sea moss growing on a large scale in a lot of countries in the South Pacific, and they're growing it in huge quantities, like a lot more than what we're doing in St. Lucia. And I'll just show you the video. And this sea moss, a lot of it is going to the commercial market. And so this is where a lot of what people would say is pool-grown sea moss comes from. Like, just look at that pile in the back, and I think they'll play another video. You'll see it. I'll let that play, and I'm going to go into this one.
The local government passed an ordinance that restricts seaweed farming concessions in Ingatan to local residents and limits the farming area to 1 hectare per family.
So look at that, 1 hectare per family. Look at how much sea moss that is.
As well as its many challenges.
So a lot of Miss Devon Crawford asked, what are they using that sea moss? A lot of this sea moss goes to exporting. Actually, they'll talk about it right now.
They're quite efficient in the moves.
So,
they know how to do be able to plant a lot in one go. So even a one house or 1 hectare, a family can do that.
Look at that. One family does a hectare.
Indeed,
that's huge.
The people have been completely transformed.
And so, to answer your question, what are they using it for? They're using it for, they use sea moss in alcohol. They use sea moss in beer. They use it in ice creams. They use it in milkshakes. Any sort of thing that needs a thickener. A lot of vegan foods will have sea moss extract in it. They use it in medical supplies. So petri dishes are extracted from agar that comes from the sea moss, right? And I'll go back to showing some more of this videos. And so they use the agar for the petri dishes. And what else do they use it for? Like skincare products, like stuff with collagen or carrageenan in it. That's all from the extract of sea moss. Now, these guys, a lot of them, they're not getting the sea moss or producing the sea moss for medicinal purposes, right? They're not really producing this expecting people to eat it. Usually it goes to commercial companies, industries, and stuff like that, where they will, extract the product. So no one's coming to them and saying, hey, you need to make sure that this is, of this condition, or it needs to, have this look. And so it's not to say that anybody out there, I don't believe these guys are purposely going out there and making crappy sea moss, right? I think that they're trying to make the best sea moss that they can, right? In that environment, in that method, to produce it at the price that they need to produce it in order to sell it to these companies. I even think that the way the sea moss is dried is based on the expectations of the people that are purchasing that. You know what I mean? And so they, I think a lot of reasons why you see the sea moss that the people call fake is all gummy like and has the worms and it's moist and stuff is because they're trying to keep the weight on it. And so the weight, because if they have a big pile of sea moss and it weighs twice as much as the same pile of sea moss, they're going to get twice as much money for it. So there's no motivation in them to completely dry the sea moss like how we dry the sea moss, right? These guys are selling it to companies who are then taking it, boiling it, doing whatever, using heat and other chemicals to extract the components and that they want from it, right? So it's just, to me, it's not fake sea moss. It's just low quality sea moss, because that type of sea moss, they don't need to make it have 92 minerals or whatever people believe, So I'll give you a look here of their farm. I don't know if you could see that, but those are all sea moss lines in the water, and I think they're relatively close together. Like, those are probably the anchors, and then they got lines along here. And so it's taking up a huge area of the ocean. That's a lot of sea moss right there, and I think there's even more that we just can't see underneath the water. Well, actually, their spacing isn't too bad. I've seen worse. I've seen some videos where the spacing is like so close to each other. Like, it's ridiculous. Where and all the water is green and everything because of the thing. It's all green because of the concentration of sea moss that's affecting the water there. But even when you look at that species there, it's growing differently than the same species that would grow in St. Lucia. Like, these things are really thick, and I think it's like that because they take a lot of the carrageenan and a lot of the gelatin. So, hope that shows a little people about the sea moss and the commercial aspect of it. Let's see if I have any more. I really want to show the farms.
Madaot ang pagpanganom buto na tungod sa kung gusto ay atong dugangan ng gusto. Pisi imo ni igutay daan sa igot nimo sa bato og matag na po ka isiguroon nimo nga dili kit siya maalsa. Igot nimo sa dakong bat. Ayon ang simbolo nimo ang tutanan og ang pisi pag-o ang.
That's crazy. They built like a raft right in the middle of the ocean.
Una nga kinanglan anam mo ra ang pagbangan. Ya inikaw man imong bangan, imong guyuron nga to sa imong giandam na nga pisi. Ug adto imo na pong ihigot dito sa pisi. Dayon nya butangan og pataw sa ibabaw ngay kay aron ang pataw ari ra sa ibabaw din.
Yeah. Let's see if I have any more here.
That's all it takes to invest in our YouTube advertising masterclass.
Yeah, no thank you. Let's see if there's any more commercial videos I can show you. Here's the one that I seen that was like friggin' ridiculous. Oh my gosh. I watched this video before. It's called the Seaweed Project. And in the Seaweed Project, these guys go all over the world and they look at the different, like they're like, I guess, students. And so they travel all over the world to see these different sea moss operations. Like, look at that. That's to me is the commercial. That's where I think a lot of the sea moss is coming out. The people that are saying is fake. I don't know. Here's one of the things, actually, you go back here. This is what I see a lot of them doing in the commercial industry, where it could be somewhat of pool-grown sea moss. So what they do is they put these tubes in here, and these are wrapped with the ropes, right? And then they put the spores of the sea moss on there, and they allow that to grow. And so that's grown in tanks, and then they take it out into the ocean, and then they drop it in the ocean, and it grows from there. And the reason why is because see them doing it now. It takes forever for them to like add that in by hand. So this is a way that is faster. But they'll turn around and still put the sea moss in the ocean, mainly because the ocean is free. Do you know what I mean? And so there really is no need or advantage of putting the sea moss in tanks or growing them in pools like everybody believes, right? I have yet to see an actual running operation or any video of that. And here's the thing too. I don't believe that anybody that has a pool growing operation cares if people know that they have a pool growing operation. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, look at that, sea moss, that's crazy. And so that would be something that they would kind of like flaunt, you know what I mean? There's no one secretly hiding, oh, this, you know? It's just cheap sea moss. And in some ways, when you're paying a low price for sea moss, that's where you got to be concerned, right? So many people are trying to get the cheapest price, but what they don't realize is like the cheapest price usually is the cheapest quality, you know? Let's see. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is a commercial grow farm of sea moss. Okay, look how far that goes. Look at all that. Look how green the water is. Right? It's ridiculous. It's the biggest sea moss farm in the world, it says. And it's been there since 50 years. So these guys have been doing it around for a long time. But look at that. And they have a big boat that comes out. Do you know what I mean? And that boat is like it's not good for the environment. It's not good for the sea moss. To me, this is the kind of operation where pool-grown sea moss comes from. Like, look at that. Yes, this is on YouTube. It's called the Seaweed Project. So if you want to call it up, hey, what's up, Rafi? So just want to show, and they're growing kelp, they're growing shellfish out there, they're growing all kinds of stuff. So I just looking back at the questions here, and I see, Miss Devon, you were asking about tips on trying to wholesale. Yeah, I can give a lot of tips, and if you want, let me invite you in to do a live, if you're okay with that. There's so much I could discuss and sort of like show you about going wholesale that it's easier for me to just talk than for me to talk and then to respond and then to go back. It's more fluid that way, you know? Yeah, it's crazy. Like, let me look again. I was watching and I forgot to show you guys. Look at that. Oh, no problem. If anything, reach out to me. And can you guys hear me? Because last time I got a phone call while I was doing this, it messed up the sound. And just like, I guess put a comment if you can hear me. I just want to make sure that I'm not talking and no one can hear me. And actually, I want to... I'll show more of this video. Okay. I can assure you that we have nothing Nothing like this in St. Lucia. Okay? Like our operation, our CMOS industry is so like look at that. Like no one is pulling out CMOS by the crane load where we're at in St. Lucia. Like that's just not possible. You know what I mean? Like we can't even ship in tons. And these countries, like when they talk about their output and you know,
We will have a look at their kelp today, the Saccharina, and
yeah.
these are the breeds they have developed in Tsingtao.
So it looks like they're harvesting kelp there. And these are big giant kelps. But see, like I was saying earlier, this is how they're putting out megatons of this stuff. You know what I mean? The average St. Lucian farmer produces like maybe a couple 100 pounds a harvest, which is every month or so. You know what I mean? There's not a lot that are harvesting like thousands and thousands of pounds. There's only a few farmers like that. And for most of them, they have their they're kind of like their buyers already picked out and stuff, right? But to try and answer your Devon's question earlier about getting into wholesale, I mean, first you have to decide how you want to wholesale before you want to wholesale, and where your market is. You know what I mean? You have to identify the people that are buying and selling. Hold on a second. Oh, fuck. Someone just showed up at my warehouse. And, like, I think it's my cousin, right? But I'm not sure because it looked like he got a haircut. And so, I'll know in a second. I hope so. I don't know. People sometimes walk in the warehouse and they're in the wrong place, the wrong whatever. Getting back to his saying, so you want to identify your market, who you want to sort of target, where you want to, you know, what style, this and that. See the, you know, identify sort of like your competition, who you feel is, you know, operating, learn what they're doing, right? How they're selling, their pricing, right? And then create sort of like a loose game plan. Now, I say you don't. Yes, I will change the battery in the smoke detector. I did change the battery in the smoke detector, and you know what's crazy? It was like I think the batteries I got were bad because like 2 weeks later, it's things dinging every 5 minutes. I've gotten so used to it, I don't even listen to it. Like I don't even notice it until you said it. So yeah, getting back to what I was saying about the wholesale, you want to identify your customers, you want to identify your competition, you want to study your competition, right? You want to know sort of like what their prices are, why they price that way, what services they offer, what they don't offer, and then as you learn more about your competitors, you will develop a sense and a style on which you feel that you can fit into the business, because that's really in my mind how it is. There's not one like person that can be accommodating to all buyers, right? Some guys go to this person because of this reason, some people go to that person because of that reason. You need to develop a reason of why people want to come to you, and then you start showing that, you market that. Now it could be, you know, you have fast shipping, it could be that you have you're very hands-on. It could be your knowledge. It could be your support. It could be a combination of those. It could be your price. It could be the quality that you have, the way you present that quality. You know what I mean? So, like you said, you got to imagine it like this. In order to sort of dance or have your time on the floor, you have to come into the space and watch what everybody's doing, and to see the body language and the flow, the energies that everybody is sort of giving off. And then as you learn the market and you understand the flow and what things people are doing, and you know, this person's a price, this and that, you then, it's almost like a space will open up on the dance floor, and you will see the area that you will be able to just come in, and then you do your thing and dance your move, and you almost got to have the dance that you want to put in your head ready. And then if the crowd is looking at you like, what the fuck, change your dance up, you know what I mean, change the move and do something different. Don't be afraid to pivot when things are working. But in today's day and age, it's not about how do I say it? Everything's tested, and the market is changing so fast that if you try to plan something and build it for a particular market, by the time you take it to the market's changed, and there's a good chance they might not accept what you want. So it's almost like you have to look at the market, watch where it's going. It's almost like train, and then you see a pattern and a gap, and you jump in, and then you go. And then if you see things are different, then you move. You say, okay, how do I change things? How do I make things different? You know, and that's my sort of, I guess, tool and strategy to getting into wholesale or getting into any business, whether it's wholesale, whether you're selling just retail, whether you're selling raw sea moss and stuff. And don't be afraid to try different avenues. Like, everybody wants to kind of put their website on and sell online and stuff like that. And but then there's so many other markets, you know what I mean? There's going to the grocery stores, you know what I mean? Going to health food stores, you know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I see in my city that no one's really doing. No one's really hitting them up. And a lot of times they, if you ask them or you mention it, they're like, oh, well, they need this, or, oh, well, then get it. Do you know what I mean? Like anything these companies are asking you to do is in your benefit to do. It's in your best interest, because it's like, like, for an example, one person said, oh, I wanted to put my product in the store, but they wanted to have a UPC code, and I don't know that. Well, you know what? Fucking get to know that. Figure out how to do the UPC, because once you get into that store, you can get into any store now. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't look at that roadblock like it's something you can't accomplish. Try to accomplish it and see. You know what I mean? Most people will say they can't get the UPC, but they don't realize how easy it is to get a UPC code. Do you know what I mean? And so we will always throw these barriers up in our mind that you need to move past, And so, yeah, farmers markets. I heard you mention earlier that you wanted to try. I think they're a good thing. But I also think it's important to go to a few farmers markets before you go to your first farmers market. Study all the farmers markets. See who goes to which table and why. Do you know what I mean? Because even if they're not selling sea moss, they're selling something. And if you can see how these guys are manipulating, and they know the market because they're there every week. So if you can see how they can manipulate the market into getting people to buy off them, to know, like, and trust them, then you can use those, ideas to either copy or expand on, And so, yeah, go to the farmers markets, go to a few of them, figure them out, like, create a loose plan, but know that the plan doesn't have to be perfect, right? It should almost be like a plan to discover, because once you get into it, things are going to be different, They'll never be exactly how you planned it to be, So, yeah, I would, definitely, like, explore farmers markets. One idea that I keep pushing people to do, right, and this is something that I'm surprised too, no one's done it yet, although I think it's a fucking genius idea, and that is to find events where you feel that people are going to be that would be receptive to your product, and go there and just guerrilla market sell. So the idea I had is I wanted to go to reggae jams, and basically, because most Jamaicans, most Caribbean people, they know what sea moss is, but to say to them, where can you get good sea moss, they don't know, right? Or they don't see it on a regular, right? So the idea was to go there with a cooler and a big flag that just said, like, St. Lucian Sea Moss Company, right here, pointed arrow down. I'd have the coolers there on ice, and on them I would have drinks, right? I'd have a couple gels of sea moss or whatever, but I would have the drinks, and the drinks would have, and I'm not even planning to sell drinks. I'm just going to sell the drinks, right? I would go there and make a drink, one for getting, like, say you're hungover, one like hungover thing, another one for if you're dehydrated, and then another one for late at night when like a libido one. So I would sell these 3 ones, and I'm keeping it 3 because I find that if you give too many people choices, they won't choose, right? That, I think that's why when you look on game shows, they always have like door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. It's kind of like 1, 2, you know what I mean? And so if you keep that, do that, maybe 4. To me, 5 is too much, right? And I would even keep 3 that you put up front and have the 2 on the side in case they didn't like any of that one. Well, did you try this one or this one? You know what I mean? And then that's a yes or no. You know what I mean? You got to break it down. So, yeah, and I would sling it out there. Oh, look at this. Here's another sea moss farm. Oh, wait. Shit, we just missed it. Look at the lines in there. It's like it's hard to see. There they go. That's like a huge concentration of farm. So getting back to what I was saying, yeah, so we keep it 3, and I'd sell the drinks for a decent price. And the idea is not so much to make money off the drinks, but to be a form of advertising and a way to get in their face. So, because once you're in your face, you can then educate them and discuss with them about sea moss and what sea moss is. Most people that aren't buying sea moss, they're not buying sea moss because they don't want to try it. They're buying sea moss because they lack the education of it. And if they're in the education of it or educated about it, and they're given something like a small sample that's enough to take away and cheap enough, they'll buy it. They'll buy it just to try it. So keep it under $10 or under $20, you're good. Rafoy Boy says, I have a lot of fitness and elderly clients. Exactly. Go outside the fitness club. Even do one day where, you bring in samples of people to try. Even if you're selling raw, you should be making some gel so that you have samples to give to people so that they can try your gel so that they are enticed to want to buy and make it themselves. You know what I mean? So I do that a lot. I keep like a freezer full of just gel packages that I have, and I just randomly give them to people. Or if I go to an event and I meet people, they'll be like, oh, I hear you're the sea moss guy. I'll be like, yeah, I got some sea moss in the trunk. Here, try it. Take this thing home there. And what they'll do is they'll try it, and then a few days later, they'll call me up and say, hey, man, I tried that sea moss. I finally got to it. And yeah, man, I noticed a difference. And, how much is the stuff? And, and that's where you go, Even Miss Devon, your hair, your background is in hair and beauty. Like, sea moss is amazing for hair. It's amazing for the skin, whether you take it topically or consume it internally. It's great, and it is good for the weight loss. And one of the main things that's why sea moss is good for weight loss is because it's good for the. It helps regulate the metabolism through the thyroid. And so, yeah, it's you have a healthy thyroid, you're gonna have a healthy metabolism, and you're gonna have a balanced weight, because a lot of times those that are overweight, it's because their metabolism's off, and their metabolism's off because of their eating habits and their diet, and that affects their thyroid and other sort of bodily functions and hormones and sugars and stuff like that, insulin and everything like that. So. At least so I've been told. Yep. So, just looking at the time, and I can stay on air for a little bit longer. I still got some more purple to pack. I'm packing a lot of sea moss in pre-packaging so that when we get the orders, I can just pop them in a box and they'll be good to go. You know, making. Oh, sorry, I got my ass in the phone. Sorry about that. You know what? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go fix that along that fire. Yo, yo, yo. I'm back. There we go. Now I need something to take this. These guys make these things like impossible to take out. I can't. I don't know. When you want something, you can't find it, and it's like, where is all my X-Acto knives and the batteries? So Miss Devon says, I just made multi-gel strong taste. Yeah, the multi, any of the colored sea moss is going to have a lot stronger taste to it than the gold, mainly because of the bleaching process, or the I don't like to call it bleaching, because it's not like we bleach it. They say bleaching because it's sun bleached. But so many people, they hear the word bleach and they think that there's a chemical added to it. There's no chemicals, at least not in St. Lucia. There's never anything added, anything taken away from the sea moss. These guys put it in the water, right? They take it out of the water, they clean it, then they put it on a table and dry it. That's pretty much it. You know? And so you never have to worry about it being anything unnatural. It is all natural. Would you guys like to see some sea moss? I can open some boxes of sea moss. Okay, look. Hopefully it works. Push the test. What the hell? There we go. There we go. Works. Okay. So, no one wants to see any sea moss? Okay, fine. Won't show you any sea moss. Let me know if anybody has any questions about sea moss or want to see some more videos on sea moss. Sorry, I'm just pulling up the different stuff. Look at this. So in this, they're making algae, which is kind of like sea moss, right? Sea moss is an algae, and they're making it in these tanks, and they're using this to feed the clams. And these are baby clams. It says there's approximately 250,000 clams in that one little piece there. And then it looks like they grow them outside there. Okay, well, let's forget about the clams for a second there. And I am going to put on some gloves So I don't want anybody watching this video and then they're like, oh my god, he touched it with his hands. Call the health department. That's why you guys need to wash your sea moss. Because, well, we take steps to, like when we're handling the sea moss, not everybody does. And, you know, if you're one of those kind of germaphobe type people, then I recommend you to take your time to clean the sea moss. So the question is, what do you think about the fruit infused sea moss gel? I don't really think anything of it. It is what it is. I think that people need to consume the sea moss in different ways, and I don't see anything wrong with people consuming it in a gel form. Right now, there's things that you have to consider, right? And that is when you add the fruit, you're getting less sea moss, right? Because the fruit takes away from the sea moss. And then on top of that, the fruit, depending on how it's prepared, can actually add in more. It can help it spoil faster. It add in more bacteria and more stuff into the sea moss, and that will cause it to degrade fat. Like sea moss is a virtual petri dish, and you have to be very careful with what you touch with the sea moss, even when you're eating it and stuff. Always use a clean spoon when you do it, and never put the spoon in your mouth and put it back in the thing, and like that will help speed up the contamination of the sea moss, and it will cause it to go bad. Hold on one second. My cousin's asking me a question here. Yeah. So sorry about that. I just my cousin yesterday came in with this sandwich into the warehouse, and the sandwich was like amazing. And so he just messaged me and was like, "Hey, do you want one of those?" Because I think he saw the way I looked at him with the sandwich, and I was like, I was ready to eat it out of his hand. Oh my god! Now he's asking me what kind. Ugh. Bear with me, guys. Guy wanted to know if I wanted meat and cheese. So I have a box already opened here, but I'm going to probably open a couple other ones. Because one of the things, hey, what's up, Moss Boss? I want to show you guys is that, you know, the sea moss is a natural product, and it's going to look different from different times of the year or different places and stuff like that. And that really doesn't mean anything except that it looks different. You know, like this one is a little bit darker, right? It's got a little bit more brown. Whereas this one, and I don't know how, hang on, someone was in my warehouse and opened these boxes wrong. Because I would never do this. I would never rip open a sleeve and not open the whole box to inspect it. It's like, I don't know if they just try to steal some CMOS or something. Let me just. And so you look at this stuff, and it's a little bit lighter, you know, and it's a little bit softer. Right? Now, a lot of people like this stuff. You know what I mean? It's probably one of my more popular ones to sell, and that's mainly because it's softer and it has an appearance of being more fresher. Right? So especially when they put these in their packaging, right? Then when you put this in their packaging, it doesn't wreck the packaging at all, and so yeah, they like that for that reason. Yes. And look, there's salt on it. It's natural. You know what I mean? And so this stuff is a little bit more drier. Now, I personally like the drier stuff, especially if I was selling and making gel. This is the kind of one I would specifically want. I think a lot of these ones that like this stuff here, it's just like in their mind, and they're just kind of like, oh, this and that, and they're kind of, not to say lazy, but more like they just want to make things easier on them. And that's okay, right? But the downside on that is that when you get that sea moss, right, this volume is going to be less than this. Like this box probably weighs way more than that box of the more drier stuff. Let's see. Oh, they didn't even label this box. They should have. Someone's slipping. There's usually a number on the box that tells me how much is in the box. But there's not. So let's open up another box. These just came in the other day. Just got a shipment earlier this week. So they're waiting to be, like, how do you say it, inspected and checked into inventory. And then once they do that, then it'll be available for sale. So this stuff, we're not selling right away. And look at this stuff. This stuff's even lighter. You know, it's really light. And it's it's about the same texture, like same dryness as this stuff. A lot of times you can feel how dry it is just by like taking it and doing like a squeeze. You know what I mean? You want it to be a little bit soft. In my opinion, you want it to be a little bit soft, but yet a little bit firm. You know what I mean? Here's another box. It's some good dry stuff. And like, see the difference of the color of this to the color of this to the color of this, right? It's a natural product. So you asked me what's the difference of the different colors. It's like there are so many different factors that affect the sea moss that it's hard to say if there's just one thing that causes it or why it's like that. The main stuff, the reason for the colors, is usually the temperatures and the water conditions on where it's farmed. Some like areas you'll produce a darker sea moss than other areas. Sometimes it's the type of sea moss that was harvested, because the sea moss has different colors, and some of the more darker colors, even when you bleach them in the sun, when they dry, they tend to be a little bit more. They come out darker because of the original dark colors. Right. Here's a bag of purple sea moss. It's almost pinkish. Really light, this one. Oh, so some of them are drier, some of them are not, but the dryness, because you said what you said one was drier. The drying doesn't always affect the color. Typically, the longer it's been around, it will go darker if it's lighter, right? It'll tend to sort of drop in the color, right? But I've seen stuff that was just harvest, and the stuff was dark. I mean, dark was was dark in color. So it's not to say that is the only indication, meaning that it's like, if it's not dark, if it's dark, it means this. It's not like that. If it's dark, it could mean that the person that dried it, dried it a certain way. It could be the way that the person, how long they left it in the sun. Maybe they didn't bleach it long enough in the sun. You know what I mean? To make it white. There are so many sort of different aspects to it. And then different farmers will dry it to different consistencies. Some will leave it less, like not as dry, and then some will dry it. Some will, you know, have it moist in the beginning or like less dry, and then it over time, as long the longer they keep it, it will dry out more. So there's just too many variations to kind of like pin one to say it's definitely this or that. That makes any sense. So let's go through some of this purple. Let's see if there's any good green left. Maybe some green. Oh, yep. Some pretty green here. This is some green. And this is not uncommon for green, right? You're going to have that a little bit of the blonde in it. Yeah. That's purple here. Oh, there's more green. That's another green. Ching, ching, ching. I'm going to actually have to package some of this up soon. So yeah, that's the sea moss. For just looking at the packaging I have to make some more packages. Hey, did I tell you guys that we reduced our pricing on our website? I don't know if you guys seen that. If you haven't checked out our website yet, you know. So you want to know, is it good to be a broker if wholesaling? I'm not sure if I understand the question. Maybe if you, I don't know, explain it a little bit more. Like, it is, I guess, it's a lot of work wholesaling sea moss. It's a lot of investment, and it's a lot of, I guess, time, you know? So, but it can be rewarding if you really like sea moss and you like being in this industry and you're happy with, you're willing to put in the work and the time. It's great. I'm very happy doing it, you know? Actually, let me, I want to finish off packing some of these purple ones while we talk. Let's hold on. This guy is just. My cousin's trying to get me a sandwich, and like it's just like I don't know, it's a nightmare. I mean, I don't understand why he just kind of picks a sandwich for me and goes, or just call me. But then again, if he called me, I probably wouldn't answer the phone because I'm on a live stream. So I'm just gonna tell him. Get 1 sec. I'll be right. Sorry about that. I had to kind of tell him just pick something, bring me a sandwich, and we'll go from there. Grab some of this Seamoss and start packing it. Hold on 1 second. Fucking asking me more questions. Oh, okay, so I hope I didn't lose all you guys. That's it. I'm not answering him anymore. Fuck, I told him what I wanted. This guy better, figure something out. Back to packing sea moss. Oh. And actually, I noticed the music turned off. Hey, Alexa, resume playing music. Maybe it's the volume. Hey, Alexa, resume playing music. Alexa, play Ballet Funk.
To the Funk Valley by the Psychedelic Freaks from Spotify.
That's not what I wanted. I hate when they don't play the music that I asked for. And then you have to ask again and again. But whatever. Such is life. Sea moss. So no one has any questions on sea moss? I don't feel like rambling. I think I did enough rambling today. Actually should maybe get off this live stream. I've got a lot of people to call back. There's people waiting on me. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is I will try to come and do another live later on. after I'm done packing some of the sea moss and dealt with the sandwich situation with my cousin, because I know he's probably freaking out, like, what should I get? I don't even know if I have cash to pay him for the sandwich. But we shall see what to go on. So I think I'm going to stay on here for a few more minutes. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions or stuff you want to talk about before I go, you know. And I was really hoping to listen to some Valley Funk. I'll maybe do it this way. Hey, Alexa, play some Brazilian funk.
Play Brazilian funk music on Amazon Music.
Cachaça, docinhos, garrafa, cavalete, pulseira, mulheres solteiras, tem loira, tá tendo, morena, tá tendo, pretinho, tá tendo, tá viva, tá tendo, tem capoeira, tem whisky, tem fumaça, bebendo narguilha, tem afro, tem suíte, tem funk, tem muita novinha, tem sexo, mas tem camisinha, menina que beija menina, que beija menina, que beija menina, tem tipo, tem latinha, tem bunda, tem barriguinha,
A lot of people don't know about Valley Funk, but it's some crazy tunes.
Give me that bump and then, bump and then. Give me that bump and then, bump and then. Já tá avisado, tá dado recado, só vem preparado que o bagulho é tenso. Bolso lotado, tá tudo regado, quem tá do meu lado nem tá entendendo. Rave com funk ficou excitante, tô querendo ver tu colar aqui dentro. Vem pro mirante que fuja um romance, só tenho uma chance pra esse momento. Tô louca, bateu agora, aproveita, já chega, quando me toca, já chega.
Working hard. I'm almost done packing all this purple. Look at this. I think I need a new bag. Or new gloves. Sometimes the sea moss, it gets so sharp, it will just tear right through your plastic gloves. And then you have to wear new ones.
Quem tá presente, as novinhas ali, fica loucona e se joga pra gente. Aí falei aqui pra ela. Vai tudo no tam-tam,
Oh, that's what I was doing. What happened here? Let's go to the battery die in this? There we go. Did I ever sell gels? No, never sold gels. I've made the gels for myself, but I've always started and sold raw sea moss. Even when I was, like, before I started selling the sea moss, I was having someone make the gels for me. That's kind of how I got into sea moss in the first place, or selling it, was that I had a lady that was making the gels for me, this Jamaican lady. And when I asked her where to get the sea moss, she was telling me, from this Caribbean store, she gets it for these 2 ounces or whatever. And so when I started doing the research, I realized that the sea moss that she was getting was the same sea moss that everybody was calling fake. Now, here's one of the reasons why I don't really say that it's fake, or I don't believe it's fake, is that when she was giving me the sea moss, I was having effects with it. That's what turned me on to sea moss to begin with. So to sit there and say that the sea moss is fake, but yet you still get results from it, how is that possible? That makes no sense, right? So the sea moss has to have something real to it. Now, I believe the sea moss is real, and I even believe that some of them are good quality sea moss, but I don't believe that the value is there. I don't believe that, you will get the same amount of sea moss for the price as you would buying from us, right? The volume that you get for that $4 package, it's like the same same sort of size of sea moss would expand, so would produce way more gel than that stuff that's in the water. It's almost like there's nothing to kind of expand and make it grow that way. And it's also concerning about the possibilities of different bacteria and stuff, or mold growing on it, that kind of stuff, because the moisture, anything that with moisture is going to introduce that possibility, right? And so the question is, will I get capsules? Yes, I will. We are kind of ramping up to start selling powdered sea moss. And so we'll be selling the powdered sea moss, and we'll be selling the raw gel caps. I don't think we'll be selling them in the bottles, although we just might, right? But if we do, then we'll be selling them all white label wholesale, but we'll also be retailing them on our site. So you'll be able to get, like, an ounce of sea moss powder, or a pound of raw sea moss powder to buy for yourself. And then if you want to make the capsules and stuff like that, we can do that. We can show you where to go to get that done, or we'll have it made for you. Yeah. So. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure when I will get the capsules, but I will get capsules for sure. Often you'll get the green sea moss hiding in some of the purple sea moss. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of people selling the powder nowadays, and I do see it being something that will be, how do you say it, popular going forward. That a lot of people will be interested in the powdered sea moss, mainly because of the shelf life on it. You know what I mean? It's going to have a lot longer shelf life than if you had it on. If you had it in a gel form, right? And you can take that powder if it's made right, and absorb it in water, and that becomes like an instant gel. Now, I'd be careful about who you sort of buy your sea moss from, or powder from, because one, you want to make sure it's of good quality sea moss, and then also that the practices that are used to produce it are of hygienic means and stuff like that. So, how did they clean the sea moss? Did they even clean the sea moss? I think some of these guys just take the sea moss and throw it into a powder machine and powder it. And if they're doing it like that, then it's kind of like, oh no, like that is not safe, right? You need to clean your sea moss, right? There's lots of stuff, especially with the salts and stuff. You don't want to be, you don't want to take this much salt that comes in the bottom of this thing and ingest. Oh shit! You don't want to ingest that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of salt. I don't know if that would be in your tablet, but you know what I'm saying? Like you'd want to take, you want to mean to take that off. I guess that's my point. Just cleaning up some of that salt. We actually sell the salt too. If anybody ever wants to try it out and check it, we sell it. I think at like half ounce, 1 ounce, and stuff. And I find that the salt would be good for like using in baths, using in sort of skin products. I don't recommend you eat it, mainly because there is a lot of debris in this stuff, and so it's not easy to kind of like filter it so that it's only the salt there. You might get stuff like from the ocean, pieces of dirt, sand, just garbage. I don't know, you know. So you want to be careful of that, and so that's why I don't recommend it. But I think it would be great to put on your skin, put in your hair, on your face, to put in any kind of face scrubs or something like that. It's got a lot of minerals in it and micronutrients and shit that I think would be beneficial to your skin. And taking a bath, I think, would be almost like taking a bath in Epsom salts. You know what I mean? It would be probably even more relaxing because it'd be like swimming in the ocean. Which I don't know about you, but I've done that many times, and I don't know. It's extremely therapeutic to be, especially in St. Lucia. Like I would like once a week take a bathe. Like we go like swimming every week to kind of just relax and get some salt, ocean water in our skin. So what were some of the benefits for me taking sea moss? That's a good question. Mainly energy, the motivation, positive energy, very sort of like, good like mood. I also feel like in some ways you tend to operate at a higher vibration. I've found that once I've started taking sea moss on a regular basis, it was like my spiritual eye started becoming more and more wide open. And I start seeing things now where, when I was sort of, I would say, in the world, it would fly past me and I didn't see it. But now that I'm kind of operating, I feel like my vibration's outside of the world. Even though I'm in the world, I'm out of the world. I don't know if that makes sense. Some people will. So I'm watching from outside, looking in kind of thing. And I feel that sea moss has helped create that sort of ability for me to reach that kind of level. And so that's some of the benefits. Some weight loss has been good. I sleep better. I wake up easier, before depression, I would say, like I'm not as depressed as I would normally. And eating, geez, like I can, if you want to go on fasting, then I recommend you take sea moss on a regular basis. I was, today I haven't had anything to eat. I had even just like a coffee, you know what I mean? And so I had sea moss in the morning, had a big chunk of sea moss, and then so far all I'm drinking is coffee today, and I'm not really that hungry. Although I could eat something, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Yes. So let me know if anybody has any more questions. I was gonna come off, but now I'm like thinking, you know what? I should just at least wait till my cousin gets here with the sandwich, and then I don't know if you want to watch me eat a sandwich. I don't think that's like good social media stuff, but probably when he gets here with the sandwich. Oh, look, he's here, and I'll probably come back. I'll come and end the live stream. So you did get a haircut, huh? Yeah, I saw you. I saw you come in earlier, and you freaked me out because like I didn't recognize you, right? Because your hair was cut. Thank you. You didn't get a sandwich for yourself? Oh, yeah. So I was saying I saw you walk out, right? Because I heard you, and then I was like, "Is that Roger?" I was like, "Yeah, I think he got his hair cut," and so.
I was trying to, because it was one side looked a bit off.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to trim it.
Mm-hmm.
And zoop too much. Try to fix this side, then I'm looking at the back, or how do you fix this? How do you fix this? Well, I have this 24 inch. I hit the 24 inch and went up, and it's supposed to be longer than this. Like 24.
You should have just shaved it all off.
It was supposed to be longer than that, and that's why I didn't want it to get that short. I just wanted to get a nice even trim because I could see it was uneven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No, that looks good.
hey, Smiley. Is that Smiley?
No, I'm just doing a live stream. Smiley's not on it today. In case you guys are wondering, Smiley's one of my farmer friends, and I'm usually talking to him during the day, talking about what's going on in St. Lucia and the sea moss and stuff like that. And so, you know, what the market's like, where it's heading, da-da-da-da-da. So know that I'm always in touch with the sea moss farmers in St. Lucia. I'm always talking to them pretty much daily, and getting to hear what's going on in the sea moss world in St. Lucia, and what issues they have and stuff like that. Yeah. Hmm?
When you're trying to eat, the fly lands on your finger, it goes on your sandwich, right where you're about to bite.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe I get some fly shit. It's hard when you have the door open and there's the bin there. We're talking about flies coming in when we're eating, but it's like, you know, it's an open air place. You're gonna get that shit, you know.
I'm not worried about the flies because I just like problem solving.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just don't like it when I'm about to bite and I see it and then he lands on it and I'm like, eat that part.
Yeah. I'm listening to some Valley Funk.
You didn't send me the bun, so I got one of these.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Onion bun, egg, regular, white. This is
I probably would have done the onion bun, but even the roll is fine. The soft roll, it's good. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. No, I appreciate that because I was watching the other day with your sandwich and it was looking good. All right, guys. For those who don't know, we've changed our pricing. Yes, that is right. What you used to get, you know, it's weird. I think it's like the page has gotten smaller, or zoom. How do you zoom? That's messed up. So there's zoom, but how do you zoom in, zoom out? Like, what the fuck? Anyways, so now you can get 5 pounds of purple sea moss for $180. I think it used to be like $275. So that's quite a discount on before. Even our gold sea moss, I think our gold sea moss is one of the best price now. It's $149 for 5 pounds. And if you buy a subscription from us, you can get it even for less. So look, this if you got 5 pounds every week for at least 3 weeks, right? You'd be paying $96.85. See that? So that's not bad. That works out to be, let's see, 96 divided by 5. $19.20 a pound. That's a good price, man. You know what I mean? That's a really good price. So I hope some of you guys take advantage of some of those deals and those pricing. You know what I mean? Because I think it's pretty competitive. And let's see, even 10 pounds. 10 pounds every week is like 185. So it's almost like Jean-Pierre Holmes signed me up. All right, no problem. I got you. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. 185. But that would be buying 40 pounds. You would have to commit to buying 40 pounds or at least 30 pounds of it. You know what I mean? But even still, 30 pounds, right? So that would be 185. Let's do the math here. 185.25 times 3, right? That would be 555.75 divided by 30. You'd be paying $18.52 a pound. That's a good price. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people would have to buy like 100 pounds on that. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to buy 100 pounds to get that price. You know? So by just making sure you're committed to buying it every week, we give you like a really great discount. And yeah, I know I said I was going to eat the sandwich after the live stream, but it's on my mind and I just want to take a bite. They don't put lettuce and tomato on it? How did you get lettuce? You didn't have lettuce and tomato last time?
Nope. I wouldn't take tomato, but I would take lettuce.
Oh.
Just meat and cheese. I didn't know you needed it.
No. It's alright.
Well, it's just a bakery. They only give you what they have there.
Mm-hmm.
They have nothing extra.
They're missing out. The baker's nice. I mean, the bun's nice and soft. They do this a lot in St. Lucia, too. They'll have these things with what they call local bread. It's like a French loaf like this, but then they twist it on the end, so it's like really fat in the middle with these two ends on the thing, and then they cut it open, and they'll put they'll butter it, and then they'll put a slice of cheese, like a thick slice of cheese in it, and then they'll put meat. Like you could have cheese, meat and cheese, and then I think there's salt fish. But the salt fish is really just tuna fish with some spices, like canned tuna. Yeah, I know. It's not really salt fish, or well, they say fish, right? But and then it will have the sandwich will be like this. Like reminded me of that sandwich, where they just throw the meat. Except the meat here is nicer. Like there, they put like the cheapest luncheon meat you could find. Mm-hmm.
That's why I stay away from mock chicken. Mock meat. It's not, I don't know what that is. I think it's skin and fat grinded up with a little bit of meat.
I know. I've seen that, and I'm just like, how do people buy this? Like it even says on the name, mock chicken. Like, which means it's not real chicken. You know? Maybe in like a vegan place, I could see it being like a vegetable-based thing. But the fact that it's chicken, but they can't call it chicken is fucking scary. Yeah, that's scary. Listen, society as a whole right now is scary. You know what I mean? People are just messed up. There's like zero common sense. There's zero, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like everybody's brainwashed, right? Everybody just listens to what one central thing says.
Zero derivative thinking.
Mm-hmm.
For your own thinking, derivative.
Yeah. Or isn't it called cognitive thinking or something like that?
Yeah, something like putting your derivative thoughts. That's what you're directed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thinking one different ideas or whatever, not programmed to a robot, being a robot.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well.
And a lack of respect and dignity for everybody else and others around them because they feel like they can be self-absorbed in their own vision.
Yeah. Just gonna wave at some of these people I haven't seen. You know what I'm surprised hasn't come in lately is Kevin, my buddy from Jamaica. He's usually on this. I don't know what he's up to. I haven't seen him in a while. And I just noticed that there is a guy, Eldon's friend Kevin, but no. You know what? I should do a contest with something like this. You see how the label's messed up? I should put this and sell it, and then say, okay, whoever finds the screwed up label, you know what I mean, can come in and get a prize. Or I don't know. I think I'll do something like that, like a golden ticket.
They'll have two of those prizes going out.
Oh yeah, because look at that. I didn't even notice that one.
Actually, you showed me that, and I looked down like, isn't that right there?
Yeah, there's probably a few of them like that.
Sandwich, I was thinking I could have stopped in. I should have said something. There's no peas in the tomato. I can easily gotten lettuce.
No, don't worry.
And a tomato from.
No.
I just don't like tomato and lettuce, so I don't think so. I've actually inquired that. I could ask her if she has anything like that. I think I've seen someone come up with lettuce. But her sign is extra meat, extra cheese is $1.50. I basically would rather this sandwich, for some reason, I can eat a half sub, and this thing, these two would be identical. The half sub will look like it has more food in it, but I would be starving faster than I would be if I ate this sandwich. My micro sandwich is better. I like the bread. Fuck. Only this time she gave me Swiss with pastrami. It's like, I like cheddar, man. That's Swiss. Oh, God bless her.
Yeah. See, what's up? What's up?
They're funny people. If you go there all the time, they take care of you. When I first went, I didn't get a plastic bag until now.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Everybody does. Maybe today the guy felt like giving the plastic bag. Or they could have been even just out of plastic bags. You know what I mean?
No, I've gone near and grabbed buns, and then they look at me, and I got 2 packs of buns, and they just stared at me. And I go, okay, you're done. And I look at it, where's my bag? I don't want to carry my buns around like this. You got the plastic bags over here. She goes, you only have 2. She shoved them over to me. I looked at her, and I'm like, can you go in your cash and just give me my money back and take the food back here? She didn't, so I just said, fuck you. It was a daughter. I looked at her, I said, fuck you, you're a fucking bitch. Don't treat your customers like that. So I didn't think I'll ever walk back in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a goatee, I was clean shaven, I was short hair.
So probably didn't even recognize it.
I was hoping.
Hmm? Mm-hmm. They probably forgot it. Fuck them, you know? It is what it is.
Yeah, I just didn't. I know if she says anything, I'm going to say, look, you can try to be offended, Okay, but you know what? You don't treat your customers that way. I got 24 fucking buns for me. 12 were in one bag. You could have given me a fucking plastic bag to carry them in. You then looked me right in the face, smiled, and flicked it with your finger right back at me, like to say, get the fuck out of my store. You don't need, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you an ounce of respect. I just tell her, like, that's what I was going to say. So that's exactly the way you put it. So get mad at me. But you say anything, I might walk over there offended, severely offended that you treated me that way. Being a customer, I might kick in the chops.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I'm thinking right up the fucking straight in front of you. See if your fucking mouth closes fast. And I'm kicking it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have to realize that is a lady. I'm never going to hit a woman because I just don't want to hit a woman.
Yeah,
She was ignorant, man.
that's like crazy talk.
Well, I was definitely, the way she looked at me was she smiled and stood there and just stared at me. And I was like, well, I'm waiting for a bag. All she had to say was, I'm not going to give you one for this. She just flicks it with her fingers and looks at me, just go.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Go. I was like, get the
But that happens a lot with these like, I don't want to say immigrants, but with these people that have where English is not their first language. You know what I mean? Their communication is not. It's not easy for them to articulate themselves, and so sometimes we misinterpret the message that they're trying to say. Like we think they're being rude, but they don't know how to say it in a nicer way. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to be nice, but if you only know how to say a word one way, then that's the only, or a phrase one way, then that's the only way you're going to say it.
I've seen that. She speaks English.
Yeah.
She's being polite. She gave. The thing that offended me was that the customers before me, the three, and she gave them all bags, and for even less than I had 24 ones. And I'm like, why are you fucking treating me like this? She, for one, I've never been in your store and caused problems. You just flicked it, and somebody flicked it at me. And I'm looking at her like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then I hear this guy Jack down the street, and I think she hadn't seen Jack in years. He walked in. He used to walk in and order sandwiches and then walk out because he didn't really make a sandwich. He used to pay for it.
Really? Why would he do that?
Jack's an asshole.
Sounds like it. Anybody that goes and orders a sandwich and then doesn't pay for it has got to be a jerk.
He did it more than once. You know why? He did it out of spite. This is the way Jack is. Because he didn't get the sandwich made the way he expected. Not the way it was done. Kevin and I can't remember Kevin. They got their sandwich walked away. Jack had to sit there and make a big fuss. Cut those slices of cheese and meat. This is about 50 extra. He doesn't want to pay them. Then he's making a fuss about the lettuce and tomatoes. He didn't. Then he made whatever fuss he needs. Finally, after making a fuss for half an hour. He left the place, and when he go back, he did it about 3 times, and he told me Kevin told me 5. I believe Kevin.
Yeah.
He ordered it that way. This is a lesson I'm teaching you for fucking up right when I ordered the last time. Next time I tell you what I want, you make it the way I want. I'm not one of your other customers. I'm me. Okay, so you do this for me, okay?
Oh,
yeah, that's Jack.
That's crazy. I'm just gonna show these guys some videos because a lot of people talk about. And I was showing this earlier. I just want to get back and show this again. But this is where a lot of the commercial sea moss farming is. And to me, the stuff that they say is pool grown is generally grown in these massive farms that are a lot different. What? I don't think this is Thai. I think this might be Philippines.
Yeah, Philippine Thailand. She looks Philippine, but he looks Thai. He's definitely Thai. No, she's Thai, man. Yeah, she's got the Filipino center, but Hey, you know what I heard about history yesterday? I was looking into the First Nations, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that intrigued me was some archaeologist was going in the Grand Canyon, came across a cave where he found artifacts of gold and different items and things that weren't normal to him, things he never seen. He saw Buddhists and things from India and all this, but it was all Egyptian. It was all Egyptian. Without a shred of a doubt, they said that the earlier Apache or the first natives that were there, there years later, their first language is without a shred of a doubt Egyptian.
Okay.
So now I have to look into this because check this out. Egyptians traveled to the fucking Grand Canyon. I think the First Nations people in there are actually Egyptians.
Well, all one nation.
Egyptians, or they could have been, mating with other people. But look at it. It's strange, man. They don't look anything like Egyptian.
Hi, good day to everyone. This is Arthur, and of course, with regular
They
here,
can't just speak.
another
Their
level
language is very close to
in fish stocks.
I had to show that one because that's really something bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
To prevent overfishing, villagers have come up with a novel solution: farming seaweed. Seaweed aquaculture on the Belizean coast is a venture that shows how the ocean's problems can be solved with nature-based solutions.
This is more of our kind of operation in St. Lucia. Like everything's done by hand.
Number 2, Brandford fishermen goes green by growing kelp.
You can grow something else.
Close. It's a lot more. It's us.
There's one, I was watching a video. It had so much
For both fishermen
the
and
farms.
the environment.
Like the farms were
While
huge.
the ocean covers more than 70% of the earth, it produces less than food that requires
No, I like seaweed. I'm with him on the seaweed.
San Diego water.
The seaweed is gorgeous stuff.
Here's where I'm talking about. Okay? Like
Of seaweed farming in
this to me is where the farming, look at that, dude. Like this fucking. This is what I'm saying. Like this wouldn't happen in St. Lucia. Now watch when they have the harvest.
Southeast China's Fujian province. Fishermen are busy with collecting seaweed.
Look at the color of the water.
Of an area of 4,000 hectares.
Look at this. 4,000 hectares. Over 400 kilometers. Wow. So when you have these farms like this and in this sort of concentration, I don't believe like 4,000 hectares. I don't believe that this produces a high quality sea moss. Do you know what I mean? And so a lot of the sea moss that people are saying is pool grown, it's not pool grown. It's grown like this. Like look at the machine. What is that thing? Is that like a boat? Yeah.
Regular intake of marine plants lowers risk of colorectal cancer.
Seaweed is one thing to get kelp and seaweed. Growing it in that much quantity, you can do it that way. You ever see in Coca-Cola, as long as the water's Coca-Cola free, it grows nicely.
Do you know that recent research has found that if you eat more marine plants, just like these seaweeds you can see in this video, it helps to lower the risk of colorectal cancer? The study about this was conducted by experts at National Cancer Center in South Korea. So
yeah, but that to me is a commercial industrial sea moss farm, and when you are producing the sea moss at that sort of level and quantity, the quality, it's just impossible to maintain. Do you know what I mean? And so you're not going to get the same quality as you would get from getting a sea moss from a Caribbean island like St. Lucia or St. Vincent and stuff.
That's congested.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a seaweed and kelp grows upward, a bunch of like that take out the seed, it's natural.
Mm-hmm.
That's not natural.
That?
Yeah, with the
Well,
that's not natural.
the question, natural, not natural, you know what I mean?
I'm with you. It looks over-congested.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, I just seen this video here. I'm gonna show it now, and to me, this is like the equivalent of what is wrong with the CMOS farming, right? Look at that. Artificial reproduction.
Hi, good day to everyone. This is Arthur, and of course, today, be sure to subscribe. What about video?
Let's see if they show.
Culture farms to meet growing demand. Korea is no exception.
Wow.
It's experimenting with ways to.
So the Koreans have figured out how to raise pollock in a controlled environment. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's Alaskan, but it's pollock.
Researchers are inseminating the sperm with eggs to breed eel, and they say finding the right timing and feed are critical, which is why it takes decades to perfect the process.
Crazy.
But I don't trust it because, like they said, they found that if you farm anything, it doesn't, for some reason,
Number two
fish
is
urinating too
China's
close to
floating
each
fish
other
farming.
and swimming around. Usually a fish will poop and swim and go elsewhere. We're finding problems with it, and I said, I bet you it's the urine and the feces. It's they'll do close and fine because the fish will do it, but they'll move away from it.
Mm-hmm.
In the farm, they have
Ningbo
nowhere to go.
of Southeast China's Fujian
clouds up
province
and
produces China's
Totally.
chocolate seafood.
Yeah, so I can imagine what the fucking why the meat. Any farming, I didn't want to eat it because I look at the meat, it looks like it's deteriorating. I mean, we're looking at deteriorating meat. That's usually spawning, a salmon spawning.
Thousands of
But you
fish
shouldn't
farmers
grab
who
anything and
reside
touch it
along
and
this
dissolves in
coastal
the
area
fingers.
for decades
That's
have
only
transferred
fish
this
spawning,
little
right?
fishing village
All right,
into
well,
the
what else is
epicenter of the yellow
polluted
crop
water, heavily
industry,
polluted water,
producing
and that's usually
75%
feces
of the
or
nation's total output.
stagnant water because there's no water flow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like when you get to this level of industrial production, that's when the quality goes down.
Number three is fish breeding technology.
And with that, I think I'm going to end this live CMOS show because it's getting to be 2 o'clock. I got a lot of work to do. And yeah, I'm going to get back to getting my work done and hopefully get the rest of these orders out before the end of the day. So thank you so much, those who stuck around and watched me. I appreciate it. And hope to see you guys soon. Take care and enjoy your CMOS.